All right. Adulting 101. We're talking about relationships. Okay. I know this is a subject right here. When you're a teenager, this is just about all that there is to talk about. You know, nobody's sitting around the lunch table going, tell me about math class. They're talking about who's dating who's got a crush on who broke up with who, the whole thing. The tea is scalding hot in middle school and high school about relationships. Okay. Tell me if I'm wrong. All right. But I don't think I am. At least I was in high school. Okay. All right. Let's do some fast facts about dating in general. Yes, talking about dating. I am not telling you to date people. You don't have to, if you want to do the single thing and you want to do the single thing for years, go for it. There's no right or wrong way to live your life in that regard. I can tell you some bad ways of dating, but like if you're not ready to date, please don't. This is just for the future if you decide you want to. Okay. There's no right age to start. So I'm not going to be here to say no one should date until they're 16. That's not what I'm here to say. It just varies person to person and their maturity level is what I'm going to say. I'll also say it depends on what your house rules are. So some people have house rules that say you're not dating until you're 16. So honor your house rules. I'll say that too. I'm not here to say go against that. Let's see what we got. Whatever's on our minds. We're saying, yeah, okay. All right. So yeah, talk about everything. Good for y'all. Not everybody's talking about dating. Okay, that's good because there's a lot of drama with dating, right? All right, we'll go ahead and do that right there. Okay. Do you know what you want in a person you want to date? I can tell you when I was in high school, what I wanted was attention and to feel like desired. That's what I wanted out of someone. And that had nothing to do with who they were as a person. And I found that out the hard way, that it also matters what kind of person they are. You don't just, I thought that was how you got worth in high school, was like, if you were dateable, you were worthy. If you were dateable, then you were important. And that's what I thought. So it didn't really matter who they were, just date me. And that's all I want. And I found out that's actually kind of garbage because some people are actually not a good dating choice, right? Just as a thought, someone who likes me for who I am and wants to be with me, absolutely. They got to like you for who you are. You don't want to be another version of someone. You don't want to be fake. Okay. That's hard. That's a hard thing to keep up. Are you dating because you like someone, or are you dating because you like the idea of having someone? That's exactly what I was talking about a second ago. I liked the idea of being dateable. That helped me feel like I was not rejected. Helped me feel accepted in the social, scene as a teenager. But you should date someone because you like them. You should date someone because they're interesting. I'll go ahead and tell you. Okay, here comes a story. Y'all, I got stories about this. I was dating a dude in high school and he was so boring. Y'all, he was so boring. I would call him on the phone because, it's the early 2000s, right? So just bear with me. I know that's like caveman ages, but like I would call him on the phone at night and we would sit on the phone. It would just be like silent a lot of times and he wouldn't talk and I would be so bored. And then we would hang up. I'd immediately call my best friend, who was also a guy, because he was interesting and he said really funny things and we would crack up. I'd be like, "Ooh, finally got rid of that other dude. Couldn't wait to tell you this story about whatever happened earlier today." And we would talk and talk and talk. This best friend of mine was a lot better to talk to than the guy I was dating. I ended up marrying the best friend. So that's my husband now. We dated in high school. Later on, after I broke up with this other dude. Actually, he broke up with me. That's not fun either. We're gonna get there. Anyway, it was a good decision in the long run because I enjoyed being with my best friend, now husband, much more than I enjoyed this other guy. So just keep in mind, a couple of friends are dating people. I found it cool because I got to meet someone new, whoever they were dating, but socially awkward. I don't like meeting people. It's hard to meet people. It is hard to meet people. Can you handle tough feelings like jealousy? Because that's going to come up if you're dating and the person, are you okay with them having other friends, especially other friends? Like, let's say if, I was dating my husband and I'm a girl and he's a guy, if he has other girlfriends, like other ladies and, who are social friends, like, am I okay with that? And do I have boundaries with that? Like, do I have expectations about, like, I don't expect you to go over to the house, like, am I cool with that? Or is that going to invoke some jealousy within me? I'm not saying that happened. This is just an example. I'm going to use us as an example a lot, but like, that's just a play pretend situation. Do you know your parents' guardians or your house rules about dating, if there are any? There may not be any, but if there are, you should figure them out, or you should honor them, because I am not here to tell you to go behind somebody's back and date. Absolutely not what I'm saying. So if you have house rules, you should probably honor that. Okay, John says, if I'm gullible. If they say they're not cheating, I'm going to believe them. That's fair. That's trust. That's trust. And what we heard in the defense mechanisms thing a minute ago, we were looking at defense mechanisms with the ego. They're talking about like a lot of people project. So if someone's cheating, they tend to think their partner is cheating too, because they're projecting that onto them. So it's a good thing to, assume the best out of people. All right. Is it true love? Hot take. Love isn't like it seems in Hollywood. It's not. That is not real. Love involves really knowing someone, respecting them, trusting them, and caring about their happiness. I heard a really great quote this weekend. And this is about marriage, a little bit different than dating, but just roll with me here. The quote I heard, it was a story about a guy and a girl, and the girl said to her fiance, "Do you love me?" And he said, "Of course I love you, but I'm committed to you. More than that, I'm committed to you." So it's about choosing that person, loving them through their faults and flaws. Of course, we're going to talk also about like when is, somebody's stuff they're going through too much also, because that can be the case. We want to be with people who build us up, don't tear us down. But love involves knowing someone, feeling vulnerable and safe with them, feeling like you can trust them, respect. If they don't respect you, that's a problem. If you are not respecting them, that's also a problem. We're not here we have to recognize our own things that we're doing too. Yes, we talk a lot about like making ourselves the victim here, where it's like, if someone's mistreating you or someone's saying this, yeah, okay, but are you mistreating someone is the other question. So you need to think about how this is a two-way street, and are you giving respect? Are you trustful? Are they able to trust you? And do you care about their happiness? Do you care about whether they're having a bad day or not? Does that bother you? You're going to try to help that out. You're even asking that question. I love this quote. Love is friendship set on fire. I said this because you have to be friends with the person you're dating. I'm not saying you have to start off in your friend group, but like, you got to be able to be yourself with them and cut up with them and laugh like you would your friend, because they should be a friend of yours. They should be like, it should be friendship, but set on fire. That's what love is friendship, but in multicolor, if that makes any sense. So it shouldn't just be like, I'm formally courting this person and I do not know them, but we went to the fair together and we held hands on the Ferris wheel. Good, but do you know them? Are y'all friends? Can you trust them? Can you tell them when you've had a bad day? Do you feel like you have to dress up every time you see them? Okay, I mean, everybody does that when they're first dating, but like, are you okay with saying this is me and no makeup and whatever, So grandparents say become someone's friend and then ask them to date. That's wise advice. And you see, that's what happened to me and my husband. We were friends at first, and it just kind of like evolved from there. But I knew him well, and I knew I could trust him because he had been a really good friend. I knew his character, his personality. And so that was a really good launch place, at least for us. I'm not saying that's the only way you can do it. People will go on blind dates and all that all the time. It works out great. But for us, we started off friends, and that worked well because I got to know him first before it was in the dating context. Let's talk about safe dating. Here we go. Both partners respect each other, and their opinions. Notice that I said both partners respect opinions. You don't have to agree with somebody all the time. You are not going to agree with someone all the time. Okay. Do I agree with my husband all the time? Absolutely not. And it can be something as goofy as, I do not like pickles like you do, like the spicy pickles. Get that out of my house. I do not want that. And it could be big things too, like big philosophical discussions. I disagree with that. That feels wrong to me. Like it can be stuff. It's okay. But we respect each other's differences. We support each other and encourage each other through their goals and ambitions. I'm not trying to hide him away and keep him from doing what he wants to do. If he were to come into this room and say, I really want to go to medical school and be a doctor, if that's not what he wants to do, but like if he were to come in one day and be like, I've thought about this long and hard, I'm gonna be a doctor. All right, let's see how we can make that happen. Again, this is marriage. Marriage is like even different, but like you should be excited about the person you're dating. And if they're like, I really want to go to this college, I really want to go try out for this team. Good. Yes, we want to root for people. We want to support the people that we're dating. Encourage each other to have friends. Do not be possessive. You cannot be this person's only person. We're not supposed to be all things for one person. That's not true. They need to have their own friends. Okay. Communicate openly and honestly. We're not lying to people. We're not hiding stuff. We're not, like, and if you feel like you can't tell them stuff, well, Ellen, I can't tell them. Okay, then we need to think that through. If you can't trust people, I'm not saying tell them all your business, but like, if there is a lot that you're holding back, then you need to think about this person and whether you're trusting them, or if you're ready to trust them or not. And if you can't fully trust them, maybe you need to think about what that looks like dating wise. Different friend groups or how you're feeling that day. Yeah, okay. That's fair. I had like a lunch table where everybody was like always so loud and cutting up, and they were really rambunctious. I remember that in high school. And sometimes I would sit there and, if I was in a good mood, we'd laugh. And other times I would sit and eat my lunch really fast and I'd go somewhere else. I'd go like in the band room because we were allowed to go there because it was like quieter. So if I was more like, I was like, see you later. And again, all this stuff goes to friends too. It doesn't just go with who you're dating. So if you're like, I am not dating anyone, this doesn't apply to me. No, this goes with good friends too. You got to be able to respect your friends' opinions. You got to be able to encourage them to have their own friends too, to have friends outside of your group or your friendship. That's okay. Partners accept the differences between them. Okay. So you can see now, if there's something critical and you're like, I really can't date you because this critical day. Okay, well then you need to think about that. But if it's like, you're a morning person, I'm a night person, you, like my husband as an example, I use him all the time. He's much more type B. I'm much more type A, as in like, I'm much more rigid and rule followy and we got to get this done and work before play. And he's much more like, go with the flow, easy going, blah, blah, blah. That is a big difference between us, but I accept that. In fact, it makes me better because he calms me down. And I also kind of like get his booty in gear when it's like, okay, no, we got to actually get this done. It works out well. If in a good situation, that would balance itself well. Both partners on the same page about being exclusive. So when you're ready, like I'm only seeing you. We are dating. We are in a relationship. You're not going to go off and, see somebody else and go on, a date with somebody else. You got to be on the same page with that stuff. Okay. Safe dating involves spending time apart. You need this to connect to each other who care about you and for your for your other activities. So if you have a good friend group and you start dating someone and then you ditch your friend group and you only see this person that you're dating for like weeks, and then let's play this out, y'all break up. Well, now you come back to your friend group and they might be mad because you ditched them. So you've got to balance it. This is why dating is really stressful, because you suddenly, all that person's burdens and problems and baggage they're bringing, that becomes yours now, that you have to sit and contend with. And now you've got to juggle your friends, your relationship, your personal life, and your dating life now. It's a lot to figure out. Dating does not become your entire identity. Oh my gosh, how many times have I seen this happen? How many times have I seen, and again, I'm a girl, identify as a girl. And so I'll talk about from a girl perspective, I have seen other girls just completely lose themselves into who they're dating. And all of a sudden, whoever they're dating, that's all they care about. The particular people I'm thinking of, it's like suddenly their sports team is their, like they didn't care about football and now they are all about football because the guy they're dating is about football. And all of a sudden, well, he likes this, so now I like this, or I'm into this kind of movies now, or I'm into this anime now because he's into this anime. And it's like whoever they were before is gone. They've just become like a different version of this person they're dating, right? So it's bad. If y'all have seen that happen, let me know. If you haven't, you're going to, I guarantee it. And it kind of stinks, because then what happens when you break up? You got to figure out who you are all over again. It's like an identity crisis, y'all. You don't want that. Retain yourself. You can get into stuff that they like. You can explore that. Okay, this person likes football. That's fine. I like football. But it doesn't need to become all of who you are is this dating relationship. No. Dating does not replace your priorities. Your job right now is being a student. You may not like your job. Okay. I'm not here to say you got to love every minute of it. I certainly did not, but that is your job right now, is to go to school and then to figure out what you're doing next step. Maybe that's no more school and you're like, I'm ready to work. Maybe it's, I'm going to go to trade school, or I'm going to go to 4-year college, whatever. however you want to split it, that's your life. That's fine. But that's your job right now, is to figure out what you're going to do. That should be the first order of business in your head. Am I saying you got to love school more than the person you're dating? Absolutely not. Am I saying that, because I really hate it when people were like, don't you need to do? Okay, it just needs to be a priority. I'm not saying you got to spend all your time on it, or that you're not allowed to date, or like what. It just needs to be something. Let me phrase it this way. Don't dismiss or forget or put aside your school work because of a dating relationship. That's not ideal. We don't want to do that. So don't sacrifice your opportunities because of a dating relationship. So that's a better way of saying it. So just keep that in mind. You should not let go of your dreams because of a person. One of my friends' couples are really alike. The other one's almost opposites. I'm friends with all of them. I feel like they're kind of different kind of couples that make sense and they balance each other out. Yeah, they're different. There are some people who get along really well because they're very similar. And there's some folks who get along really well because they're very different. And both work. I have friends who that's true. In that case, like they're really similar. They're very driven. They're very work oriented. They're very, I saw a couple of friends this past weekend. They're very similar. They're very career oriented. They like the same style. Their house is very like, they're very on the same page. And then I have friends that they're very different. It works well. It's just like, you got to find what works. It's also okay. Like, let me say this too. Yes, I dated someone in high school and I married them. It's okay if you don't marry the person you're dating. You don't need to be like life partner hunting right now. It's all right. You can date. That's okay. But don't put so much pressure on it either. It's all right to date and have a good time and meet somebody and get to know them and let that be that. And when it comes to its end, it comes to its end. That's okay too. Y'all, we talk about this forever. And if y'all ever have to go, just sign off. That's fine, because I'm gonna keep going, but I got lots to say about this. So a quick brain break. I would like to know in the chat, would you rather date someone who liked you more or date someone that you liked more? Tell me. Would you rather, this is a tricky one. Would you rather date someone who liked you more or date someone that you liked them more? Some of you are gonna be like, that's an unfair question. It is. It's an unfair question. Some people are saying, who liked you more? Yeah, that would kind of stink, right? We're dating someone and they didn't like you as much. But some people, oh no, I'm okay with that. Like, it's okay. Let me offer this trick question. I would like to date someone where they mutually like each other about the same. Maybe not all the time the same, maybe not all the same day, like each other all the same, but like I would like to see at least mutual respect, mutual desire, commitment to be with each other. But yeah, I think everybody pretty much is like, no, I'd rather you like me more because I don't want to be chasing after you, right? And if I'm off base with that, if y'all have a different thought, please let me know. I don't want to date someone who doesn't like me. Of course, we don't want to date someone who doesn't like us. No way. Like that would be a big old waste of time. That would be sad. All right. So as what happens often with dating comes breaking up. And again, we're not just talking dating here. There are going to be times when you might need to let go of a friendship that does not serve us anymore. And by serve, I don't mean like they are your servant. I mean like it doesn't fulfill us. It doesn't do positive things to us. It does not allow us to grow as people. So here's the thing. Sometimes feelings change or people grow apart. Sometimes a relationship is unhealthy. Those things do not all the time go together. Sometimes it's just the relationship has run its course and it's done. Other times it's not healthy. If breaking up is what's best for you, do it. Even if the other person is going to be hurt by it. I know it's terrible. No one likes conflict. But if it is the best move for your life, do not drag them along. Do not string them along. Just be done with it. You'll feel so much better. Here's how you can do it. All right. Prepare what you're going to say. And I'll give you some examples of what you can say to them. Be honest, but not brutal. You don't want to be like, okay, I'm breaking up with you. And it's because your breath is so bad. I can't. You should be near no one because your breath is just the worst. Like, not a good idea. You can just be like, we're not dating anymore. Sorry, I'm breaking up. Say it in person. I put an asterisk there because when I originally created this presentation, which I did update, but when I originally created this presentation, this was pre-pandemic. And so right now things might be difficult for saying things in person. So just keep that in mind. Also, you may not need to say it in person because it could be that that person might lash out and do some silly things if you're in person. So there are some caveats to that. Don't avoid them. They will know. They will know that you are, as someone who's been broken up with before, you are acutely aware if somebody's about to break up with you, right? You can just tell. Yeah. So, and it's usually because they start avoiding you and then ghosting you, and you're like, what the heck? So, anyway, don't rush into breaking up without thinking it through either. And just, this is just courteous and good manners and just the right thing to do. You should not be bad mouthing or gossip about that person because A, it will get back to them, and B, it just doesn't, it's just, it kind of makes you look just not good. You know, we're going to have some more decorum than that. We're going to have some more, you know, maturity than that. Let's not badmouth the person. Okay. All right. Here comes another question. Would you rather be the breakup-er where you're doing the breaking up, or be the breakup-y where someone broke up with you? Tell me in the chat. I'll tell you, both of them are terrible. This is, again, trick question, Ellen. I'm just trying to get y'all talking, interactive. What would you prefer? Someone break up with you? Okay. It's terrible, but then you get to kind of mope around and eat ice cream and be sad. That's fine. I can tell you that the breakup-er usually comes with a lot of guilt because you're like, I just really made that person feel bad. Breakup E, I can't do it myself. Yep. John says, I have a hard time asking an adult for napkins. Yeah, it would be really hard to break up with somebody. That's like, you know, especially if you've got a lot of time invested, you know, it's going to be some drama. Ooh, that's hard, y'all. That's really hard, but you know, such is life. Okay. So some people might be in both situations at, you know, some point in your life. You might end up in one or both, but it's kind of bad. It's not fun. All right, here we go. Here's how to break up. Okay. Say you're in a relationship with somebody and you're done. Tell them you have to talk to them about something important. Start by mentioning that you appreciate them. Like, we've been close for a long time and you're important to me, you know, or like, I'm really glad I got to know you so well. All right. We have spent so much good time together and I have lots of good memories. And then, but we're arguing more than we're having fun. Or, but you cheated on me and I can't accept that. Or, but my feelings have changed and this doesn't feel right anymore. That's where you're going to get, you know, customizable with whatever the issue is. But I feel like we've grown apart, you know, but I really want to see other people, you know, like the insert whatever is appropriate for the situation. And then you conclude, so we're breaking up. So I want to be friends, but not go out anymore. That's the hard part. You got to get down to it. You got to get down to it. I'm sorry if this hurts you. I know there's someone who would be so happy to go out with you. Be patient, listen, and don't negotiate. Do you know how many times I've seen people try to, I'm going to go break up with this person today. We're like, all right, you're going to break up with this person today? Like, okay. Especially if the relationship's not going well. They'll be like, I'm going to go break up with this person. All right. They go talk. Then they come back. Well, we're giving it another 2 weeks just to see where we're at in 2 weeks. What? You think 2 weeks gonna fix this? No. Or, well, they said they would change. They said they would. They ain't changing. Maybe they will. That's good. That's for them to work out, whatever, but let it go. Okay. You got an issue? No negotiating. If you're done, you're done. All right. Let your yes be yes and your no be no. Okay. Here are some actual warning signs. So like sometimes we got to break up and our relationship was fine, but it's just time for it to be done. Sometimes relationships can get like controlling and possessive and scary and very unhealthy. And here are some of those warning signs. This can also happen with friends, by the way, not just dating. Does the person get extremely jealous and possessive? Do you know how many times I have seen people do this? Do you know how many times I have seen this happen and I go, that's messed up. That person should not be doing X, Y, or Z. That's really messed up. Do they accuse you of cheating? Again, we just talked about that in my mindfulness about how that could be a projection of their own cheating, right? So I'm not saying they are, but just we got to wonder why they are asking that. Do they put you down or criticize you? I've seen that before too, where it's almost like fun or funny for them to just constantly be negative or like, you're so stupid, you're so dumb, you're so this, you can't do this. That gets old and it's not cool. I've seen this on TikToks where I'll be watching TikTok. Everyone's like, oh, that's so funny. And I'm like, that's actually really messed up. It's actually really messed up. So pay attention. Everybody says stuff from now and again. I sometimes I say things, I'm like, oh, I can't believe you this. I'll go back and apologize. But that's not everything I say out of my mouth too. So you can just pay attention. Is this person putting me down a lot? Are they criticizing me a lot? Do they control who I hang out with? That's not okay either. You should be able to hang out with who you want to hang out with, right? Do they check your phone or social media? Do you know how many times I've seen this too? Oh my gosh, y'all. I'm like, no. Nobody should be going through, like, your boyfriend, girlfriend, whoever should not be like, give me your phone and see who you're. No. Do they have really big mood swings? Everybody has mood swings, but do they have really big mood swings? Like they suddenly just get really, really, really mad, start flying off the handle, because that can be kind of a problem. Do they make me feel like no one else would want me? That's really messed up too. They should not be saying anything like that. Do they pressure you to do things that make you feel uncomfortable? That can be a variety of things. Are you embarrassed by their behavior? Do you make excuses for them? So maybe they do something, you're like, oh, that's just so-and-so. You know how he is. You know how she is. She this, they that. Do you make excuses? Well, they're going through a really hard time. She doesn't do well with this, or, her parents are going through this. Okay. And that's not a free ride to do whatever we want. If their behavior is embarrassing you and you're feeling you have to make excuses for them, you need to start seriously investigating what's going on in a relationship. Breaking up when the relationship is unhealthy. Okay, so this is a little bit different. So this is where I also said you may not want to break up in person. If you don't feel safe, you don't need to break up in person. Or you can break up in public when there are a lot of people around. What we don't want, and I hate to say it, but we don't want this to get physical, for you to feel like you're in risk of being harmed, or for them to just really speed this. No, we don't want to give them that opportunity to lash out or to threaten or to just act up like that. We don't want that. You could also break up in public, like where lots of people are around, because people tend to try to control themselves more if they're in a public situation. You don't have to explain yourself more than once, or I'll do this too, be a broken record. You cheated on me, so we're breaking up. We're breaking up. So we're breaking up. We're breaking up. We're breaking up. And you just be like, repeat, record scratch, repeat. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't have to explain yourself. You don't have to go down into it and get it like a parrot. We're breaking up. We're breaking up. Nope, we're done. We're done. We're done. As 1,012 times if you need to. Let your friends and family know, because then they can help you and support you, and then they can be aware. Trust yourself. Listen to your gut. If it doesn't feel right, you need to do something about it. Pay attention to your gut feeling. Ask for help. There are plenty of, if you guys need resources, if this is something like teen dating or teen dating violence or safe dating resources that I can provide to you. You may also miss that person after, and that's normal, because you might have had a lot of good times with them too, but what's more important is your safety. And so we have to honor that. We have to take care of ourselves. Here is your dating Bill of Rights. Are you ready? You have the right to refuse a date. If somebody asks you to go on a date with them or hang out with them, you have the right to say no. You do not have to do it. You have the right to have your own feelings and express them. You don't have the right to hurt someone, but you do have the right to say, I don't like this because of this, or I don't enjoy that. You have the right to tell someone not to interrupt you. Ooh, Ellen, but doesn't that make me mean? No, it makes you assertive. You have the right to refuse affection. You do not have to receive affection if you do not want it. You have the right to have your values respected and say, this is what's important to me and my family. This is part of our culture. This is part of our history. This is part of what's important to me. This is part of my religion. This is part of my whatever. You have the right to have that respected. You have the right to be heard. People should be able to listen to what you're saying. Again, they don't have to agree with it, but you have the right to be heard. And you have the right to have friends and space aside from your partner. You have the right to form other relationships and have your own life, your own space, your own time away from them. That was a lot. Dating is awesome. It's fun when you're ready. It's fun. That may be never. That may be a long time from now. Some of y'all might be dating already. Honor your parents or your house rules, whatever those are. Date when you're ready, not before. Date someone who brings out the best in you. They're making you the best version of yourself, a version that you can be really proud of. Don't lose sight of your priorities. Don't let school fall to the wayside. So that's it. Is anybody got a thought they want to share in the chat? Anybody got a question I can try to answer? If I don't know the answer, I'm happy to look it up and then come back. A story they would like to share. For the recording purposes, I will go ahead and turn off the recording in case somebody wants to come off and share it with the mic. So